Well, good morning to you viewers and good morning to all our subscribers and non-subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, why not? Only joking. It's a beautiful day and it's just reminded me that I've got to get this project finished so I can get out and ride it and have a bit of fun on it. But if I take you in the shed, we're going to pick up where we left off, which is for me yesterday, but for you guys last week. And I did promise that once you saw the frame again, that rear subframe would be ready for painting. And it is. I've done a fair bit of work on that over the last few hours. So that's all been grinded down, it's been filled and it's been painted or primed anyway. It's got a guide coat on there. I'm just going to put the clip up now and you can see how I got it to this point. Right, I'm going real professional here. I'm going to do a voiceover for you. So I'm using some of this 1mm steel here to make the plate for the bottom of that subframe. And I'm marking it with a screwdriver so I can score it really tight. And that way I haven't got to cut so much steel off when it comes to shaping it up later on. And I'm going to use my grinder here for the 1mm steel bit to get that cut as tight as I can. And there we go, that cut nice and easy. So I'm just going to line it up on the subframe just to make sure that it does fit properly and I haven't cut it too small just before I weld it. So let's get that done there. And I'm really pleased with that. That'll do for the welding stage. So I'm just going to have to clean that steel up now. It's covered in service rust where it's sat on the shelf for God knows how long. And that'll help me get a good weld on it. Steel to steel, clean steel to steel. And there we go, that still fits absolutely lovely. So I'm going to wind the welder back here, just lower that temperature because 1mm steel will burn through quite easy. And then I'm just going to tack that all the way around. And then once that's done, I'll run a seam weld all the way down both sides on the join. And just as it was going so well, I ran out of welding wire. So I'm just going to have to quickly switch that out for the new roll. And like an absolute donut, I realised I bought the wrong wire. So I'm going to have to take that back to the shop and get it swapped out. Take my trusty cross tourer here. And you know what, it's not too bad. I've got to cut my way through school traffic. But look at this, the day's gorgeous. So I'm not too fussed about having to drop tools and go out. So I'm just picking up a roll of flux core wire here, which is the gasless one I use. And I couldn't help but notice this Z900. I had to have a quick look. Absolute stunner. And that's it, we can get back on with the job. Let's get this wire on the welder. Perfect. So I can carry on doing that seam weld down each side. I'm going to clean that up now, back with the abrasive wheel. I'm going to try and square that off the best I can. All this is on display, so it's got to look as good as possible. I'm going to try and get rid of all those grinder marks with this abrasive block here. And like I said in the previous video, I will use a bit of body filler where needed, just to help round that tube off and square that corner up on that subframe, just so it looks as good as it can once I've painted it, because all this will be on display and I want it to look fairly decent. So get that in there, and I can just rub it all down once that's dry. Try not to hit yourself in the face, Paul. So I thought I'd hang it up under the porch to be safe. I'm just going to blast it over with a bit of filler primer, just as a guide coat to see where it needs more filling or more rubbing. And I can do that right at the end when the frame's all finished. But for now, I think it's pretty good. Now, I was asked in a previous episode what I'm going to finish the frame with. In an ideal world, I would like to powder coat it. That would be fantastic. However, that's not the premise of this build. The idea of this bike was I bought it for 400 quid and I'm going to try and spend as little as possible and make it look as cool as possible on a serious budget, because not all of us have got loads of money to chuck into a project. So powder coating's off the cards. I'm going to spray this myself by hand. It's going to be a pretty decent finish. Not going to be the most professional we've ever seen, but it will be as good as I can get it. But what that does mean is, as I go along, I can grind bits here and there, because at the minute I've just got the frame ready and I've got the subframe ready, but I am going to need some lugs to put on for the airbox, for the master cylinder. There's going to be loads of bits and pieces that I need to just grind a bit of the frame away, weld a bracket on, and then respray that over. So again, powder coating it at this stage wouldn't be an option. So I'm not going to powder coat it. Going to keep this bike a budget build, a really cool budget build. So yeah, I'll paint it by hand. There you go, I'll show you upside down. But you can see all that work I've done putting that bottom plate on and getting that corner right. I mean, it's as good as I can get it. And obviously all that tubing now is all blended in. If you remember from a previous episode, this whole front section is actually made from a sissy bar from another bike. And I had to cut it and then put this rear section, which was off an old Harley Scrambler. So that's sort of 3 bits of metal there. So I spent quite a lot of time, as you just seen from that last video, just blending it all in, because all this will be on display. So you will see it, and obviously I've got a boxed in the back section there. So really, really pleased with that. For my ability, I think that's not bad at all. This episode, we're going to concentrate on the main frame. So I'm going to get all that cleaned up so I can get that ready for welding on. Got these old lugs to cut off and grind those back. We don't need those. They were part of the last subframe. So I'm going to get rid of those completely. The only thing I'm not going to put on is the tank lugs yet, because I'm not 100% sure where I want them. I've got to put that engine back in and just drop that tank up and down to make sure that the bottom of the tank isn't hitting the carbs. So I'll put those on after. And then I've cut myself a bit of steel tube here. It's the exact diameter to slide over the existing tube. So I'm going to weld that on, and that will replace that rotten section that I cut out of there. So a little bit of work to do on here, nothing too strenuous. So I'll get those done. Oh, and I've got this cap. So I've just cut a piece of the steel that I took from here, I've kept, and I'm just going to put that in there, and I'll cap that part of the frame off. That's just where I cut the subframe off. And once I've done that, I'll weld this onto there, and I'll give the whole frame a coat of primer, and then I'll probably give it all a coat of black, and then we can start putting things back on. But before I do anything to this frame, it's absolutely filthy. I've got all the grease down there from the chain and the kickstand and everything, so I'm going to just give it a degrease, pop it outside, and get it all cleaned up. Now, as you see there, where the chain's been on the frame here, it's absolutely caked in grease. So I'm just going to put the whole back end of that frame there. I'll put some degreaser in a bucket with some hot water. I'm just going to let that sit for 10 minutes, and that should loosen all that grease up. Right, that's sat in there for a good 20 minutes. I was going to give it a blast with the Karcher, but again, another dead Karcher. I'm getting fed up with these things. If anyone uses a better jet washer than a Karcher, let me know, because I'm not going to buy another one of those. Got a bit more degreaser in there if I need it. Try and get it as clean as possible so it doesn't react with the paint. This is actually a wire brush for a golf ball cleaner, but they're really handy because it's got a decent wire brush on the end and it's curved to go around the golf ball, but it's brilliant for going around curved frames. Right, I'm happy that there's not an ounce of grease left on that frame, so I'll leave it to dry for a bit. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to cut the bits off that I don't need. I've still got this lug here I don't want. I'm going to cut these lugs off the back, clean all that up with the grinder, and then we'll get that back end welded right back on. We're ready to finally weld that rear end on. So just made sure that all my holes line up, all the holes line up for the shock that I drilled there. And what I have done is drilled some holes in the subframe itself so I can weld through and just get a stronger weld onto the frame behind. And then I'm going to seam weld all the edges under there. I'll seam weld in there and in there. Anyway, you get the idea. So I'm going to just spend the next half an hour now, get that welded on, grinded back, cleaned up. I have spent a little while just knocking that rear frame around a bit. Obviously I built that by hand and it does go out of shape a bit when you weld. So I spent quite a while just making sure that that's all parallel and in line the best it can be. But here we have it, there's the frame. I'm not sure what the lights are in here, but you can see that's all black now. Everything's blended in. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but you see the idea, you see what I'm trying to create. A lovely satin black frame, all spotlessly clean, all down here, absolutely lovely clean. And then just trying to mould that rear subframe in the best I can, so it kind of looks like it blends into the frame. And these old sissy bars blend quite nicely into the Harley tube there. Again, as I always say with this project, it's the best I can do. I'm sure there's lots of fabricators out there that are screaming at the screen or can do 100% better, but it's the best I can do, and I'm really pleased with it. See, well, that's lovely and clean now, so it's going to be a real nice job. When I do get all the other bits and pieces cleaned up, when they go back on that new frame, they're going to look really, really great. So no more work on the frame for now. That's about as far as we're going to go on that. Like I say, I have got to ground some bits down to put some lugs on. A bit the same up the front here. There'll be a couple of lugs to go on, but I'll do that as I go along. The next job, and then in the next few episodes now, is going to be getting this engine cleaned right up, get that looking absolutely brand new, get it back in the frame, and just cleaning every individual bit back up as we go along. And I've got this seat here. Sorry to keep swinging the camera around, probably make you dizzy. Got the seat here to go on. That's going to need a couple of brackets somewhere like that. And like I said, I'm going to curve the front round a little bit. I might alter that seat to make it fit the frame. But again, we'll do those sort of things as we go along. There you go, the seat's going to sit something like that. You see how nicely it fits in that back frame. And then obviously I'm going to have a little black mudguard coming out over the back with the number plate on it. Yeah, that's frame done. Really pleased. That's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than I thought was going to go into it, but you just don't know with projects, and you've got to put the time in. So let me know what you think so far. Whether I've done a great job, bad job, bodge job, I don't know. I'd like your opinion. So that's it for this video. It's probably going to be it for a week while I get on with all the other bits and get them cleaned up. It's going to take a while and get those filmed. But in the meantime, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button. That will really help me out building this channel. And I can't wait to get on with this and see you guys in the next video. Cheers.